Here's GB. I appreciate the invite from SSR to come guest host a big event today at Silverstone. I hope everybody's ready to see some incredible lap times. This whole group has got some tremendous pace on both sides. I'm excited. Alright, looks like we got most of the grid out here on the track. Looks like Hoopalicious is the first one to cross the line. He's going to be setting the pace here in quali.
So yeah, as I say, short quali session, 50% race, team event. You combine all the points of both teams side by side. It seems my map wasn't working at the start again, that's annoying, but it is working now. So like I say, SSR, we got 6 drivers for SSR today in Zampa, Rawling, Taters, Stenner, Cookie and Murphy, and they will be competing against the 6 drivers representing the Breakout Racing League, who are Skeppy, Finfan, Brown, Raccoon, Taylor and Hoop. And where you can see quite clear livery differences on the car. The SSR boys repping a very bright sort of highlighter colours combination of yellow, blue and pink, whereas the boys racing for BRL are in more of a dark bluey black combination at the moment. So we'll see. Hopefully this will be the first of a few events. We'll start off at Silverstone, which was SSR's choice for this circuit, as we see Hoopalicious set the initials pace with a 1:24.4. Very quick lap time there.
We got the ball Zampa coming in right behind him in the speckled multicolor livery of SSR. Three of the SSR crew right here together.
It literally looks like someone has attacked Zampa's car with a paintbrush and lots of brightly coloured paint. It is definitely a sight. Well, yes, stream back alongside me in the commentary box as a special guest. You can't already tell, it is AJ Mark. I think you actually heard his voice first on the stream because my mic wasn't bringing out any sound. So much for the massive, big, exciting reveal, but it is AJ back in the booth with me.
Privileged to have the honor. Thanks for the surprise intro there. We've got about half the grid across the line now. Hoopalicious, the first one across, setting the pace, 1:24.4. Finfan sneaks in there to the tail end of that group, 1:24.6. Those are going to be your first two as of right now with about 13 minutes to go. We got Boss Cookie in at 1:25.05, and then Taylor Chan right on his heels, 1:25.07. Very close there in pace. Then we got Rawling, Stenner, and Zampa trailing them 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, the BRL boys certainly setting the early pace at the moment. All of them within about half a second of each other. We're still waiting on lap times though from Skeppy, Raccoon and Brown from the BRL team. Can set some good pace to represent SSR. Obviously we'll be cheering on the SSR boys tonight on this stream. I'm sure BRL will be doing the same for their representatives in their stream.
Big shout out there, Total 420. We love you too, brother. Thanks for showing the love there.
Skeppy crosses the line and sets a 1:25.5. So he is quite far off the pace of the rest of the BRL boys, but slots right in between Stenner and Zampa at the moment. I'm sure both of those though will be hoping to improve upon their lap times. So Stenner takes some time to say hi in the stream chat.
We see Ritzy nails down a purple first sector, but then quickly validates at the entry into sector 2. That's a tough break for him. We got Murph right behind him, setting a purple first sector. He invalidated late in sector 2 on his last lap. Right on the streets, Murph's got some pace around this one.
Yeah, he definitely is a fast driver, so we should be keeping an eye out on. And we'll have to see how he does on his lap time. At the moment, coming towards Maggots and Beckett's on his lap. So, be interesting to see whether he can get himself near the top 2. Safe set. Blistering pace.
And he invalidates again about the same spot. Tough break for C. Murph there. He's really pushing the edge there. pressing the car to its absolute max, just gets the tire too far over. He's going to probably dip in and get some fresh boots here and try again.
And he does. At the moment, Skeppy is the only person not to set a lap time on soft tyres. He set his 125.5 on the mediums. Actually, he might not set it on the mediums. I think he's out on the mediums at the moment. But, yeah, interesting tactics there from Skeppy, going out on a set of those mediums. Be interesting to see if there is some strategic differences between the two camps.
Back following Ritzy around right now. He validated on his last lap after pushing real hard into this entry of Sector 2. Looks like he's clean through the sector he bobbled in last time. Charging into Maggots and Beckett's here. Yet to put up a time. By the looks of it, he's got a pretty solid pace. See if he can carry that through to the rest of the lap.
Looking pretty good through Maggots and Beckett's there. Carried good speed through there. He comes now down the hanger straight towards Stoke. So important to get braking out on this corner so it doesn't carry you out over the exit curves. That will invalidate your lap if you fully cross over it. But looking at Murphy's time, Raccoon's time even, it looks pretty good, and in fact it'll be enough for P5. So BRL really starting off strongly in qualifying, taking up 4 of the top 5 positions. Certainly a strong showing from those boys, but we're still yet to see laps from Murphy and Haters, and I'm expecting the likes of Rolling Stone and Zampa will be wanting to get a bit closer to Boss Cookie on their next runs as well.
We're watching Haters as he comes around the last corner here across the line. He will have a time this lap. P3, 125.02, squeezing out Boss Cookie. Good lap there by Haters. We've got...
Another lap just came in then. I think that was Brown who went into P6. Yep. And he sets a 125.108. So very close at the moment between the drivers in P3 all the way down to you could say probably P8. It's very close between them at the moment. Just over 2.5 tenths between Haters for SSR in P3 and Rawlins also for SSR in P8. Raccoon
and we see a collision there between Ritzy and Boss Cookie. The race control 5-place grid penalty. Not sure what happened there, but there was contact between the two of them. Boss on a lap, Ritzy on a cooldown. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that means that as it stands, Ritzy is going to be starting, I think, from the back of the grid from P7. I think he'll be moving all the way down to the back at P12. Especially with Murphy still to set a lap time. We know what pace he has. I wouldn't be surprised if Ritzy is going to be starting at the back of the grid here. So not the ideal start for him and BRL, having one driver potentially starting from the rear.
See who we got coming around the end here. Taylor Chan makes a big jump, or Taylor Clan, I'm sorry. He moves up to 124.5, getting him good enough for P. JD's in the pits. Boss Cookie coming around after a purple sun. Looks like we got 2 BRL guys linked up, slingshotting in Sector 3.
Both coming into pits there, so those two are going to be leaving each other.
It's going to be Rawlings coming around, penultimate corner there. Doesn't look like it's going to be good enough to move up. Might have had a little traffic of him. Boss Cookie 3
at the moment. Murphy coming
Boss
through
Cookie on a hot lap here. Cookie just ahead of him, screaming along 2 purple sectors already. He's going to need a real big time here with that 5-place grid penalty. First place is only going to get in P5 with that. It's a tough break.
Did Cookie also pick up a penalty?
Yeah, it looked like Ritzy collided with him, so I think they both get a penalty.
No.
Boss Cookie only good enough for P3. Let's jump back to Murph here as he's screaming through the last part of the track. Murph all the way up to P2, 124.5. That's a big lap,
Good
too.
lap.
Splitting up the BRLs there between 1 and 3.
Can confirm only Ritzy has picked up a 5-place penalty for that collision with Cookie, so that is a bit of a bonus to us SSR fans, because, well, Boss Cookie not going to be demoted any places. So at the moment, his P4 is a legitimate P4.
Comes in with a 125 even. That's going to be good enough for P7 right now. We've got Rawlings in Sector 3. Boss Cookie's on a cooldown. Who do we have out there? It looks like Zampa going on a lap now.
Boss Cookie, Rawlings, pulling into the pit lanes. So his lap, well, I mean, he's 1 minute 36 seconds into it as I was looking at him then as he came into the pits. So clearly that lap went wrong somewhere.
Yeah, Boss was on a cooldown, I believe. He just came around. Zampa's on a lap right now. Just entered into Sector 2. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Right now running a pretty solid, tight line in the hairpin here.
I'm not sure whether the person ahead of him is on a lap. No, it's Brown who is ahead of him. He is invalidated.
It's going to be a bad spot to meet up here.
And
he dips out onto the runoff.
Comes back on in front of Zampa though. So that's
respect. He's got room to get out of the way here. Zampa's going to use him for a tow. We are on board.
Doing so.
Zampa's absolutely flying here.
He's half a second up, I think, so then. I don't know if that's on his personal best or whether that's on someone else's lap time. Well, round the final corner here.
Comes across P9, 125 even.
Improvement.
Solid lap nonetheless.
As he has to get out the way there as well for Brown, who has just started his next flying lap.
Let's see who's out front. We got Hoop is on a lap, looks like. Using every bit of the curb there.
Looks like a good run.
Hoop currently our provisional pole sitter.
Looks like Brown's having a pretty clean lap as well. Just watched him through Brooklyn's going very well through there. He's going to come up on a little bit of traffic here, while the SSR boys still out on track. But gets cleanly out of the way for him.
Hoop has invalid his laps. We're going to jump back to Brown here and see what he's doing as he rips through Maggots and Beckett's. Purple sector 2 for him.
He comes through stuff. And only the last couple of corners left now. Bit of a lock-up on the front left coming into it. And runs out a little bit wide through the penultimate corner, but he crossed the line and go P7 with a 124.6. It's extremely close for effectively P2 with Murphy on a 24.5 all the way down to 7th place Brown on a 24.6. So essentially a 24/7 really, with it being 0.699, but very, very close. Only about a tenth and a half between P2 and P7, with just 2 minutes left on the clock.
See JDM Hader soaring into Sector 2, carrying tons of speed, just under the 200 mile an hour mark. A little bit wide there, but cuts it in nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it'll be a bit distracted coming into the entrance there, Brooklands, with having to avoid this slow-moving Brown. But it doesn't seem to have affected him too much. Still looks like a decent attempt there.
Nice smooth rhythm through Maggots and Beckett's. Carries tremendous speed out. Purple sector 2.
Second sector, come on. FinFan.
Looks like FinFan's happy with his time. Still on board with JD here. Just ripping up the second sector. Soars into the last few turns. Ooh, big lockup on the left there.
That will cost him a little bit. Loses the rear end as well coming out of the second to last corner,
P8.
but still goes P8.
Just squeezing Skeppy out.
Zampa corner today. He's going to line up P10 at best. Although I think
Taylor
it will
Clan
be
is invalidated here on his outlap. Doesn't matter. He's going to try to get him one more in before time runs out. Who do we got back there? That's Rawlings coming through Sector 3 now. Flying along. Grid really split up here. It's staggered pretty much. 1 for 1 all the way up the board. This will be interesting if things stay the way they are.
Rawlings coming out the final
No
corner
real
here.
advantage.
See if he can improve. He does.
And he does.
And he goes
P4.
P4. Good luck.
With the pace of Boss Cookie and Rawlings there together, they could really take advantage of that, working together to fight their way up the grid when the race starts, if these stay the same. Stenner starts his lap. Currently sitting P12, 125.4, but he's got the pace. He just needs a good run. I know Stenner's got some love in the chat. We see some friends there. Big shout out to Stenner. He's been real dominant in the SSR League over the last few days. Got him a podium just the other day. Big win there.
Let's see.
All around
still on
great
the
guy.
JDM Haters is 23 seconds down on his personal best, so I think he might be having a bit of a cool down lap as he comes back to the pits. Still do have people out on laps though at the moment. Hoop is out on the lap, as is Raccoon is going to be the first one to come across the line.
He's going to come up the track into Maggots and Beckett, so
Purple
backing
second
out of
sector
his lap,
for
looks
Ritzy
like.
Raccoon. Raccoon comes through
Stenner having to slow up for Rawlings here. Oh no, big collision between Stenner and Rawlings. Stenner looked right, Rawlings went right. Big collision between those two. Tough break there in quali. Right at the end. They met at an awkward spot in Maggots and Beckett's. They come out and just unfortunate miscommunication there as they get into the back of each other. We hate to see that.
Luckily, I haven't seen a message come up to say about any penalties to that. So the
Hoopalicious is going to be our pole sitter right now. He's 124.2. Fast lap. Tremendous lap here at Silverstone. Absolutely blistering. C-Murph right in behind him, 124.4.
Yes, so
that's going to be
at the end of qualifying, we'll take you through a little rundown of the teams and where everyone is lining up at the moment. So we see Hoopalicious take pole position with 124.2 for BRL, but he was closely followed by 2 tenths by Murphy for SSR. So BRL and SSR sharing the front row there, and it's a similar story for row 2 as well. Taylor Clan heading BRL in third with Rawlings in fourth, and then the 2x2 little system continues as we have Boss Cookie for SSR followed by FinFan for BRL, and then Brown followed by Haters, Skeppy followed by Zampa who rounds out the top 10, and then it will be Stenner starting from P11 as Ritzy Raccoon has a 5-place penalty, but he only got P11 anyway, so he will start from the back of the grid. But I mean, it's a bit of a 2x2 formation at the moment with BRL followed by SSR or SSR followed by BRL. It's really just sort of organised system at the moment, isn't it? It looks like it's going to be a close race.
Yeah, no real advantage there with everybody split up. It's all going to be about the start here. Who can get ahead, who can link up, start working together. We're going to see the front runners there are probably going to try to get out and make a big lead. Some of the slower guys maybe play some defense in the backside of the grid. It's going to be exciting. We are going to have a formation lap here. So while everybody gets their strategy sorted out, we're going to see the leader, Hoopalicious, take us out on the warm-up lap here. And then once we reform, we're going to go racing. If you know somebody that normally tunes in for this stream and you don't see them, let them know. Don't be shy. Send them a call. Shoot them a message. Say, hey, guys, you're missing out. It's going to be a great event. You saw the pace. Half a dozen guys there under 124. That's tremendous speed here at Silverstone. So don't worry, guys. Get them in there. Tell them what's going on. It's going to be 26 laps of pure action.
So, just to clarify as well, the upcoming race, 50% race site, that is 26 laps here around Silverstone. There will be no safety cars, so even if all 11 cars pile up into turn 1, no safety car in this session, reduced damage, and as you can see, the formation lap is on at the moment. Strict corner cutting as well to really test the drivers out there at the moment, as we see Hoopalicious and the rest of the grid just weaving around, trying to warm up their tyres on the formation lap. But very close grid in qualifying, only 1.2 seconds separating all 12 drivers. Very close in the midfield as well. That battle from pretty much P2 down to around P7 or 8 was stupidly close, only a couple of tenths of a second between all of them. And well, with this race, it'll be interesting to see if tactics play a part with the two camps of SSR or BRL, whether tactics are a big talking point of this race, because obviously it's so even out there. Maybe we will see some of the slower drivers try and hold up some of those out in front by stopping later than them, or something like that. But all of that to come, of course, as we see Hoopalicious round the final corner on his formation lap, and we'll let AJ take you through the first couple of corners.
Absolutely, and as we saw, the pace was very close together there, so strategy is going to be key here. Who can get away clean, who can stay damage-free. There is no safety car for this event, so any big wrecks, we're going to keep racing. Strategy is going to be a big key today.
Yeah, and given how close it was as well in qualifying, I reckon penalties might play quite a big part in this as well.
Absolutely. We've got everybody reformed on the grid. The lights are coming. There's 5. And we're away. Take a look over the back. Spoiler of Hoopalicious taking us out. C-Murph right in the hunt. Boss Cookie making a big move. A little wide there. We got one car around. Big crash there in turn 1. Looks like we got one of the SSR boys around, maybe Rawlings.
Yeah,
2 and 3 is clear.
Back. No damage though, so he's got away scot-free. Just lost a lot of time to the leaders.
We got another car way wide on the straight there.
Stenner going
slowly. Looking at the pitch strategy pop up now. They're looking like soft, medium, soft, hard. One-stop strategy in play here for 26 laps.
I tell you what, this looks to be a pretty decent start for the BRL boys. You can see there 3 of the SSR lads right at the back of the grid now. In fact, the bottom half has 4 out of 6 drivers from SSR, so not the ideal start there, but you can still see right at the front, Murphy is right behind Hoopalicious coming through Maggots and Beckett's, with Boss Cookie just behind them as well, so hopefully those two can take the fight to the man who got pole in qualifying, as Murphy looks one way, looks the other, goes round the outside, going through.
Long way around, getting
corner.
It done.
Brilliant move by Murphy to take the lead there.
There you got Boss Cookie in tow right behind him, trying to take advantage as well.
Yeah,
getting it done as well. Boss Cookie, C-Murph out to the front.
And it's
nice little bit of teamwork there.
Yeah, Murphy just unsettling Hoopalicious. In fact, apparently Zampa's also in P2, but he's quite clearly not on my screen anyway.
Looks like the telemetry gave us a bug there. We got C-Murph, Boss Cookie, Hoopalicious, top 3 right now. We'll look to get those intervals updated here shortly. Fantastic move by C-Murph around the outside, showing tremendous pace and skill. Boss Cookie capitalizing on it as Hoopalicious goes a little wide, giving space. Got SSR, and then we got 3 BRL guys tucked in right behind. Looks like the telemetry's falling back in shape.
Yeah, Haters
C-Murph, Boss Cookie.
His way into the top half as well, so good start for him.
Everybody lined up together, big train of cars. Nobody really out of it just yet. Stenner's a 2.5 off Zampa. Rawlings right behind him after the early spin into turn 1, but showing some pace, cutting it down to less than a tenth now. Looking like he does. He gets past Stenner. Oh, we got a BRL real wide there.
That could open him up to a chance. Out at the front, Murphy's trying to extend his advantage. He's got now 0.8 of a second lead to Boss Cookie. I'm sure the two of them will be hoping to both extend a second gap back to Hoopalicious and then try and break away with each other to give the SSR boys a bit of a lead. But a good start for Murphy and Boss Cookie. They've managed to gain a position each and are up into the top 2 positions. So definitely encouraging signs early on for them too.
Hoopalicious looking to make a move on Boss Cookie here in the DRS straight. He's all over the gearbox, falling a little bit back there, trying to gain some momentum. Boss Cookie also with the DRS, so nullifies the advantage there. We hear a big lockup behind Hoop, maybe Taylor Clan with a screech of the tires there.
Hoopalicious all
about a
over
half
the back
second
of Boss Cookie.
separates each car there.
And Hoopalicious
We see
really
a 3-second
all over
penalty.
that. Yeah,
3-second penalty for Skeppy there.
Hoopalicious thinking to make a move there.
Trying to get it done, not able just yet. Cookie
he's
playing some
right
excellent
on the
defense, making the car nice and wide.
And all along, this is just allowing Murphy the chance to break away, but the gap has actually come down to from 0.8 of a second to just half a second now. So Murphy not really capitalising on this opportunity with Boss having to defend from Hoopalicious. It's really just the ideal time for Murphy to try and sprint away at the front.
We see Skeppy still away the fast lap there, in behind in that slipstream, 128.6, 128.1. I missed the actual time there, but he did take it. Oh, Hoopalicious taking advantage. Boss Cookie a little wide there. Hoopalicious underneath. Boss Cookie taking it right back, denying him that move. That was a bold little lunge there. Had to check up so not to make contact, and ends up dipping back into the 3rd spot.
Boss Cookie was then
Hat tip to both drivers for
keeping straight as well, because he had DRS from Murphy, so he's able to hold on to that P2 a little while longer. But Hoopalicious definitely looking racy. He wants to get back up into that 1st place that he started in.
Four laps into this 26th lap esports exhibition race between SSR and BRL. Could be anybody's race. Still too early to tell. Early break, we had Rawlings. Looks like he got around in turn 1 due to some contact. Other than that, it looks like we've been fairly clean up to this point. 4 laps in, we're going to see some pit stops coming up here in a few laps. It's really going to mix the grid up.
It'll be interesting to see the strategy of Ricky Raccoon, who's the only person not to start on the soft tyres today. Be interested to see how long he can make those mediums last, and whether BRL try and use him as a sort of blockade almost for the leaders. If Murphy and Boss Cookie can hold on to the lead during the pit stops,
Hoopalicious throws himself in on the outside of Boss Cookie. We're watching this battle right now, wheel to wheel.
Boss Cookie's been forced onto the grass.
Across the grass. Fan takes advantage as well.
He's going to lose 3 positions there, Boss Cookie, because of that battle. But now Taylor Clan all over the back of Hoopalicious as well, so maybe the 2 BRL teammates might end up costing each other time by fighting. Out of the front,
strategies here.
Yeah, out of the front, Murphy has broken that 1 second window. As Boss Cookie picks up a 3-second time penalty. But Murphy is outside the DRS range of the guys behind him, so we'll see if he can extend that gap any further.
Skeppy looking to get his teeth into JD, but JDM looks like he's opening it up just a little bit here. Everybody's in DRS range in this front group, so everybody's kind of fending each other off.
Boss Cookie closing on the back of FinFan.
We're on board with him now. He's looking to get back up there in the front spots.
He's thinking of making a move. Both of them lock up into turn 3 at Village. It's now going to be about who can get the best run out of turns 4 and 5 onto Wellington Straight. They're both going to have DRS, but Boss Cookie looking
See
very
FinFan
racy
trying to
here.
bake up the slipstream there.
Yeah, FinFan weaving, but Boss Cookie's
Boss
going to go
Cookie
around
taking
the
a long way
outside.
around. Squeezes him a little bit.
Well, he's made it work.
Great respect by both drivers.
Still side by side, but he
And
squeezes
he's
him
around
out
him.
on the exit.
Quite a battle there. Both drivers
very well
wheel to wheel
raced.
there all the way around that turn. Boss Cookie getting it done though, sticking in there. FinFan made it hard for him though. It opens the gap up between Taylor Clan and Boss Cookie.
And I
Cookie's
think
gonna have to really press to get caught up.
Yeah, I think Boss Cookie was just inside DRS range. He was just inside the DRS of Taylor Clan there, so he is going to have the DRS to try and defend from FinFan. He's going to make him go around the outside, and FinFan trying to take that opportunity, but Cookie defends it well. Doesn't give him the opportunity to get through, but locks at the front left a little bit there into the final couple of corners at Vale. But for now at least, Boss Cookie holding on to P4, and he'll look to try to gap to Taylor Clan, whilst also fending off on FinFan behind him. You see Stenner is the first man into the pit lane. At the end of lap 6, he's going to put on a set of the medium tyres, and we'll be back out onto the track.
Cars are starting to spread out now. Closest gap should JDM haters to FinFan. Just half second off there as they're coming through the entry of the second sector. Wide spread here. Seamurph still out front. Only a half second separate him and Hoopalicious now, who's in the DRS range. That gap closing quickly. Hoop being chased by Taylor Clan there, 8/10 off of him. Boss Cookie back a second and some change, doing his best to get up there in that DRS range. We're on the later part of the tire wear for these softs, so we're starting to see the pace slow a bit. Pit stops are inbound here in the next few laps. We're going to see how it's going to tumble the grid.
And I've just looked at the live points as it stands at the moment at this first round. Oh, Murphy loses a rear end there through Vale, and that's allowed Hoopalicious to come through and take P1. A rare mistake there from Murphy, just completely lost the rear of the car. And, well, Hoopalicious back up into the lead of the race at a crucial time as well in the pit stop window.
And like I said, we're closing in on that pit stop window. Those soft tires have to be pretty worn out. That could have been the reason that Murph lost the rear end there. Trying to pace at that same speed he was before, and the grip's just not there anymore. You see Hoop kind of swerve a little bit there in the middle of the straight, trying to break that slipstream up, trying to get every advantage he can to hold him off, but Murph is pushing right back up into the gearbox. Taylor Clan as well taking advantage of it. Yep, Taylor Clan right there to capitalize. Slips right by C. Murph. Looks like that grip is leaving, and leaving quickly for C. Murph. Struggling to keep the car in the line he's looking for. Tough break there. Pit stops are coming though, not a big loss. Everybody's going to be going in for some fresh rubber here very soon. I'm going to anticipate maybe the next lap or two.
It's looking very good at the moment on points for the BRL boys as it stands. Obviously, pit stop window will probably shake the order around a tiny bit, but as it stands, BRL are going to be scoring 65 points. I'm not sure who has the fastest lap of the race at the moment. I think it might still be Skeppy. So if that is the case, they'll actually be scoring 66 points BRL compared to just 36 for SSR at the moment. So yes, our boys definitely going to be needing to pull their way up the grid if they want to be scoring some decent points.
Update on that fastest lap. Currently, Hoopalicious 128.29. 128.29, the fast lap held by Hoopalicious right now.
So yes, that means 66 points as it stands heading BRL's way compared to just 36 heading our way for SSR. So a lot of work to be done.
Don't want to cut in. We just see Rawlings. Taking advantage of a little bobble there by Ritzy, squeezing up the grid into P9. Showing good pace there, nice and clean. Saw an opportunity and grasped onto it. We see Brown catches a 3-second penalty as well as it comes across from race control. We're going to start to see as that grip wears out, the penalties are going to start rolling in here.
Taylor Kwan and Murphy into the pits.
We've got Taylor, Murphy.
Cookie picks up a 5-second penalty as he comes into the pits.
Very hot there, yeah, catching a penalty. That's going to really play into it. Brown's in the pits as well. Hoop staying out on the sauce. One more lap. Letting his teammates get some fresh tires.
Be interesting to see here whether this is going to play out well for Hoopalicious by staying out that extra lap. It's of course allowed Taylor, Murphy and Cookie to get the undercut on him. So it'll be interesting to see how much that actually has an effect in the race, because obviously the gap at the front was not big at all between Hoop and Taylor and Murphy.
That is correct. We see those guys that pitted come out in order. Taylor, Clan, C. Murph, Boss Cookie, and Brown all in order.
In fact,
take a look at the tire choices here.
All got mediums.
Medium tires, all on mediums. And we see Stinner also pitting a little earlier than the rest of that group on mediums as well. We've got Hoopalicious, FinFan, JD, BRL, Skeppy, Rawlings, and Zampa yet to pit. We're going to see those coming around the next set.
Crashed.
Oh, I see it. I see
on
it.
The exit
Big spin
of,
from
Luffield. Just completely lost the rear end by the looks of it. I'm not too sure.
Missing a right end plate. Cold mediums coming out on the cold mediums. Didn't get him warmed up. Missing a right end plate. He is definitely going to have to go back in. Big damage on the right front there. Tough break for C. Murph. Hoopalicious in. Looks like the rest of the grid's in for tires now. Looks like mediums all the way around.
And that is a massive blow for SSR as well. Murphy was really battling for the win there. And now
JD a little slow out of the pits with the wing change as well.
Hoopalicious in the
Ritzy
pits.
out
Be
front
interesting
now.
to see if Taylor can get the overcut and make it work. He hasn't quite, but he doesn't seem to have lost any time to him, Taylor. Still seems to be right with Hoopalicious though.
Zampa staying out on that set of pit stops. Still on the soft tires, likely to pit here as Ritzy stays on the mediums. We see that strategy playing out now. Ritzy out front on the mediums, the only BRL guy to not go soft tires at the start of the race.
Murphy's back into the pits. And he will change to a set of the hard tyres, get a front nose change while he's at it. And he'll hope to go
Tough
to the end
break
of the
for
race
him.
now.
It's
Yes.
26 lapper, looking like it was going to be a one stop to begin with, so I think that's really going to wreck his day, that unfortunate turnaround. Boss Cookie with another 3-second penalty. That's 8
Zampa
that I've
stayed
seen.
out
That's
as well. Both Zampa and
I think he's
Ritzy have
trying
stayed
to-
out for another lap. So Zampa really managing those soft tyres well.
absolutely.
Murphy is actually in danger of being lapped as well if he's not careful. He's just coming onto the Wellington straight now, and about probably 5, maybe 10 seconds behind him are Ritzy and Zampa, so
Boss Cookie stealing away the fast lap. 127.9 on the mediums. Big lap there by Boss Cookie.
and all that while he's trying to catch up to the back of Taylor Clan at the moment, who's in P4 and about 3.5 seconds ahead of him. So that's going to be the target that Boss Cookie has set, catch up to the back of Taylor and the back of Hoops and try and get in that battle for the win that he should have been joining with Murphy in that battle.
Taking a look in right now. That left front of Zampa's is taking a beating. Yet to pit, SSR Zampa, currently P2. Showed quite a bit of wear all the way around. probably only going to be able to take it another lap or two. Not sure how long those tires are going to hold out. As we see Hoopalicious with a purple sector 2 after getting those fresh mediums nice and warm.
Zampers into the pits on P2.
Solid call there. Solid call there. The wear showing 62% on the front left, 50 all the way around for the rest of the tires. Smart call there to go in and get those mediums in now.
This should mean he'll be able to push a little bit more though than the rest of the drivers around him. So whether this will help Zamper in the long run, we'll wait and see.
Yep, Hoop stealing back that fast lap on that go around.
Seems to be a real battle brewing over P5 at the moment, with FinFan being caught by Brown and Skeppy. So I'm sure the SSR boys will be hoping that something goes wrong in that battle for those three. Because right now, it is not looking all that positive for SSR, with only Boss Cookie really scoring any meaningful points, with the rest of them down in P8 down to P12.
Well, as we know, the BRL guys have pace as well. We knew it wasn't going to be a one-sided victory here. Still time in this race to make something happen.
It seems a lot of things have gone unfortunately wrong for SSR tonight, like with the Murphy crash and with their collision in qualifying and stuff like that. Just nothing really gone our way tonight, but there's still a long way to go, obviously. Still half of the race left to run, so hopefully fortunes will turn around in our favour a little bit later on in this race. As FinFan picks up a 3-second time penalty for more corner cutting, and Hoopalicious sets another fastest lap of the race, 1:27.2 on those medium tyres. So Hoop really pushing to extend his lead over his teammate Taylor Clan, who at the same time is extending his lead over Boss Cookie.
The close battle right now is Skeppy and his teammate Brown, 4/10 off of him. Looks like everybody up front's just keeping pace. They know they've got the points, so they're not trying to press. Nice little chain of BRL cars here, 4, 5, 6. Brown's going to dip out and let Skeppy by, knowing he's got the pace. See, excellent teamwork there. Dips a little right, taps the brakes, lets Skeppy by. See if he can work some magic, him and FinFan.
Interesting tactical switch that is, because you would have thought with the DRS straight coming up, it would have been smarter to just let him pass with the DRS, rather than actually dabbing on the brakes, going on the run up towards Cops. But
well, we were watching there, and it looks like Skeppy was having to hold up due to the slower car in front of him, so I think Brown just dipped out and let him by so that he wouldn't have to continue to hold off on pace. But I agree, you think it would have been smarter to hold out to the DRS, give him the slingshot, do the best you can to help him increase pace.
Just so it didn't affect Brown quite so much.
He has got a 1.8 second lead on Rawlings behind him, so looks like he's still pretty comfortably ahead there at this point. C. Murph, big tough break today. We got somebody in the pits, Stenner in the pits for some fresh tires.
Those mediums only able to go 6 laps as Stenner, so whether something went wrong on his lap as well. He's only taking the mediums to 6 laps.
There is a nose cone standing by. Looks like he's got some front end damage. Back on the mediums. And he's rolling out.
Oh, Ritzy has gone off wide on the exit of Beckett's onto the hanging straight there, ran it wide onto the grass, and that's going to make him, well, that's going to make his teammate Hoopalicious really close up. Those mediums must be going off the cliff now for Ritzy here on lap 15.
15 laps.
As he locks up the front left as well, going into Vale. And surely it's only a matter of time before he moves over and lets Hoopalicious through. And lets the lead.
Looks like he's going to stay out, maybe give him a slingshot.
Yeah, I think using their tactics a bit smarter than Skeppy and Brown did by letting the leader, well, letting Hoop through on the Wellington straight instead by using the DRS to their advantage. But
we're looking over the back wing of Ritzy. They're going to come around this turn. The DRS straight. He is. He's dipping left, giving his teammate Hoopalicious a big slingshot.
Yeah, again, interestingly, tapping on the brakes, which you would have thought when one driver has DRS and the other doesn't, is a bit unnecessary to have to tap on the brakes, but...
Especially the brakes, maybe just lift a hair.
Yeah.
Get out of the engine a little bit.
Definitely heard him tap on those brakes a little bit, going down the Wellington straight, so... Interesting tactics, but it's done the job at the end of the day.
Definitely see the brake pads glow there as he got on them.
End of the day, it's done the job. Hoopalicious back up into the lead of the race now. Although Ritzy is going to have DRS on his teammate here, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be particularly pushing to get back past. And in fact, he runs very wide through Stowe, so those medium tyres really coming towards the end of his life. And in fact, he does dip into the pit lane now and picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding as he does so.
We're hearing from Stenner's race engineer. Says they're really struggling today. It's not going good for them. Currently sitting P12. We can see he had a tough break there early on. Nose cone change there on that last stop. Tough break for him as well. Him and C. Murph having a rough go today.
And Ritzy Raccoon straps on a set of the soft tyres. He'll be hoping now to go to the end on those. And he is going to come back out in P10, so he'll look at Zampa, who's on his 3-lap old mediums.
Yes, trying to get 9 laps on those soft, which is about where we saw everyone else pit earlier in the race on those softs, so I think he's pretty confident he can run those to the end. Rawlings starting to close up on Brown here, 0.4 seconds off of him, looking to make a late race charge here. A little over halfway.
It'll be for some much needed points to SSR as well at the moment. Everyone has made their pit stops. Boss Cookie dropping back down the order. I'm not sure what's happened there. It looks like he's spun off.
He is around.
Maggots and Beckett with someone.
Doesn't look like he has any damage, but he dips right in behind haters there. Rawlings, haters, Boss Cookie, Zampa, that 6 through 9 slot. Ritzy Raccoon back out into 10th after that pit stop for the sauce. We will likely see him get caught up here shortly on those fresh tires.
Well, I guess that just sums up the bad luck that SSR have had in this race today. Drivers now in P6, 7, 8, 9. Really not been the luckiest. BRL certainly going to take the vast majority of points here. Looking as it stands, Hoopalicious is going to pick up 26 points with 25 for the win and 1 for the fastest lap that I believe he is still holding. But he'll pick up 18 points with Finfan taking 15, Skeppy 12 and Brown 10. And then you've got Ritzy Raccoon picking up a solitary point back in P10. That means that as it stands, BRL are going to be taking a total of 82 points away from this race. Whereas meanwhile, Rawlings in 6th, he'll take 8, with Boss Cookie taking, JDM Haters taking 6, Boss Cookie 4, Zampa 2, and then 0 points to Stenner and Murphy, which gives, compared to the 82 points of BRL, SSR are currently sitting on just 20, so an absolute mountain to climb at the moment if we're wanting to win this opening event at Silverstone, which will be one of probably 3 live stream events of SSR versus BRL. Event 1 was where SSR picked Silverstone, and well, that choice certainly not paying dividends today.
Yeah, from what I understand, GB, that it's going to be a event. We guys at the SSR picked up the first track. BRL will get choice of the second track, and if what I've heard's right, it's going to be a 2-race 25%er scramble for the third set of streams. So we'll keep you in tune on when those dates are going to be, and we hope you come back and see who's going to be the victor here. Right now, BRL showing real strong strength in the opener. Well, it does look like a streak of bad luck here. A couple of unfortunate spins there. Has kind of handcuffed SSR in this race, so I'm sure they're going to go back to the drawing board, do some strategic practice, and come back strong for the second stint of this little event.
And I mean, the strength of BRL was just further shown with how Ritzy Raccoon out on those soft tyres picked up the fastest lap of the race on P10, so even their driver scoring the fewest amount of points clearly has pace in this race at the moment.
Yeah, really smart play. He's the only one that went out on the mediums out of all the drivers. I think that was the plan all along. Play the anchor man out front there for the pit stops, get the soft tires, and slam out that fast lap here at the end of the race. Everybody's going to be on old mediums. I don't think anybody's going to challenge that pace. So I think that was a good, solid strategy there. Ritzy looked like he was mid to slower pace for the whole pack of BRL guys, so just taking advantage of him right there on the fresh tires. He's doing his part for the team today. The front runners there, BRL top 5, so they've got the points, so no big loss there with him finishing towards the back. Great teamwork.
Yeah, it seems the only really remaining battle out on track at the moment is that battle over P3, with Finfan defending from his BRL teammates Steppy and Brown, with Rawlings also trying to get in amongst the action at the moment. But that seems to be the main real on-track battle right now. We are on board with Rawlings at the moment. It will also be worth keeping our eye further down the grid at Ritzy Raccoon, who is just over 3 seconds behind Zampa, with obviously much quicker soft tyres than Zampa's older mediums. So be interesting to see, with 6 laps left of this race, whether Ritzy can close in and overtake Zampa before the end of this race.
Well, we just saw Zampa there catching a 3-second. That's not going to help his cause any. That puts Ritzy
just the same.
3/10. Rollins catching 1 too. We're getting close. We're in the closing laps of this race. Those mediums are starting to show some pretty good wear. The grip is starting to deteriorate. Rawlings keeps getting into range here, just 2/10 off at the lowest point. I saw 1.9 there for a little bit, but it doesn't look like he's got the pace to get it done here on Brown. Brown's doing a good job of defending, keeping him at bay, holding him off those front runners so they can run nice, easy laps, saving their tires. It's gonna be a scramble here. He's got 5 laps to get it done. I don't see it happening though, unless there's a big change of events here.
I think
big lockup by Brown there.
Maybe some mistakes on the drivers ahead, as like you say, we saw a big lockup there into Brooklands on the front left tyre for Brown, and it seems to be quite a common theme in this race. The front left tyres have really been taking a beating in terms of locking up over this race event. We saw it in qualifying, we've seen it again in the race. Drivers really struggling to not lock up on the front left at certain points of this track, but I think if Brown is going to want to get a podium out of this race, he's going to need a lot of luck and probably quite a bit of aggressive driving as well. He's going to have to take no prisoners with his overtakes. He's going to have to get real stuck in. But as you can see, just not closing up enough to the back of Brown down the hanger straight there, despite having DRS, just unable to get the move done.
Yeah, speaking of those lockups, you can really tell in the telemetry, driver showing a lot of wear on that left front. I know Zamp came in with 65 plus wear on that left front, forced to pit, just losing the grip and the pace. We've seen the lockups mostly on that front left end, so you know it's the front left's taking a beating on all these cars. And as you see, as these tires start to wear out, you're going to see the cars starting to struggle for those turn-ins and keeping the grip.
And speaking of people catching up on pace, Ritzy Raccoon has got past Zampa now, as Zampa has pulled in for a second pit stop of the race, so I think he is going for that fastest
Zampa
lap.
is going for the fast lap. He has got the red boots on, and he's going for a walk. We're going to see Zamp make a sprint here and try to steal away that 1 point, maybe a pride point here at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, in effect, it will make 0 difference if he does get it, because before Zampa being in 9th place, he was going to get 2 points in this race, and if he can get 10th place in the fastest lap, it will also be 2 points. So I guess Zampa probably made the strategic call in his head that if he stayed out Raccoon was no doubt going to pass him with having that pace advantage on the newer soft tyres. He might as well make the pit stop and go for that fastest lap instead, rather than being a sitting duck eventually for when Raccoon gets up behind him. But that does...
Yeah, I have to agree, GB.
Yeah, that does promote Rawlings and Hayter's up position again. They're up into P6, 7 and 8 now. I think they were already there. I think Raccoon is the only one to gain a position from Zampa's pit stop. He's up into P9. And Zampa, no doubt on the next lap, we might be seeing a fastest lap attempt coming.
Rawlings has really closed the gap here on Brown. Oh, and there's contact. Brown and Rawlings, little nudge there. Brown locking up, getting in the brakes hard. Rawlings not able to get the car slowed down. Little bump. Shows him some respect. You can see him get off the throttle there, let him maintain the position. Doesn't look intentional. Hat tip to Rawlings there. Showing him the respect, but sends it around him. Sends it around him. After the hat tip, he says, okay, I did my part. I'm moving on.
Well, they're still side by side.
Wheel to wheel there. I mean, dead even. A lot of buffering contact there. Rawlings has to dip out. Brown very wide. What a race there. Very impressive. Both drivers able to keep off of each other there. Like I said, hat tip to Rawlings there. I don't think the contact was intentional. Looks like Brown locked up really hard there. Rawlings wasn't expecting it. Gave him a little tap. Instead of capitalizing on the bump pass there, he kind of eased out of the throttle, let Brown get the car settled, and then they went racing down the straight together. Good show of sportsmanship there by both guys.
Yeah, great sportsmanship from both of them, but the only problem this has caused them is it has allowed Skeppy and Finfan to get away. So whether that is the tactic here of Brown just to hold up Rawlings to make sure he can't get into that battle for the top three potentially, but if that is
Brown really
plan,
struggling here through this section.
Yeah, Rawlings.
A lot of lockup through both those turns. Rawlings is patient, but you can tell he's looking for a move. He's waiting for one little mistake. Brown zigging, trying to get out of there.
Around the outside through Brooklyn, that's the inside for Luffield, and he's looking like he's going to make the move stick.
Got it done.
He does. Fantastic move there by Rawlings round the outside of Brooklands, which of course turns to the inside for the long.
Here we see Brown right back at him. Zampa with the fast lap. Oh, and there's contact. Brown with the contact. Zampa with the fast lap on those fresh tires. Tough break. Rawlings battling it out, being very patient. Cannot get the car turned around. Tough break for Rawlings. We're going to jump back up to Haters here, who's capitalized. Ritzy able to get past Rawlings as well. Man, that was a tough battle there. Rawlings looked like he held his line on the inside. It looks like Brown maybe came down on top of him. It is the last few laps. Everybody's racing hard for position. Don't think it was intentional, but there's definitely contact there. He squeezed Rawlings pretty hard coming into that right-hander.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed as well, while that battle was going on, you see at the back of the grid, Murphy and Stetter have both pitted, but for soft tyres. Now, I'm not sure if this is... I don't really see the tactic of this, to be honest, because if anyone needs to get fastest lap of this race, it needs to be Zampa for SSR, because obviously if you get that fastest lap, I don't think the point will count if you're outside the top 10, will it, in this race?
I don't think it will. It's really not going to matter. It's really not going to matter either way. The 1 point's not going to make the difference. You got five BRLs up front, 1 through 5. Ritzy's in the points as well. At this point, it's kind of null and void. But Zampa did go in, get the fresh boots, and took the fast lap. Got the bragging rights on the fast lap right now.
And I mean, looking at the points situation, like I say, it isn't going to make too much of a difference who gets that fastest lap of the race. But because right now, BRL, their grand total is
big spin by
84.
Stinner. Big spin by Stinner. Into the wall on the right side, approaching Maggots and Beckett's. Pushing the car to its absolute limits, and the tires just couldn't take anymore. Turns it around on the right, into the wall. That's going to be it. Big damage for Stinner. On board with C. Murph, who's on them soft tires, trying to see what he can do with those.
Try to steal Zampa's fastest lap. Looking at the point situation, BRL with that P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8.
And he does it.
They are on
C.
course.
Murph, 125.5 on the soft tires, stealing it away from Zampa.
And that
Maybe a little
means,
friendly.
well, BRL are going to get 84 points as it stands. We've just gone from having 18 points to 17 points, with Murphy stealing away that fastest lap from Zampa. His fastest lap point will not count with him not being in the top 10. So we go from a pretty small 18 to an even smaller 17. But at least Murphy
Yeah, we'll have
does
to get
have
some
the bragging
clarification on
rights.
how they're going to score it. They may just give him the overall point for the fast lap, since it is not a full grid. So they'll probably give him the 1 point for C. Murph, counting the overall score.
Stenner is back into the pit lane at the moment, and he is
Yeah, he took
strapped
big
on,
damage there.
strapped
big
on
damage
another
there.
set of the softs.
Zampa's in the pits as well. Hoop is
And-
taking it across the line. We got Hoop, Taylor Clan, BRL
Hoop
Skeppy,
getting the
and
win.
Finn Fan.
So who plays the win?
Interesting
followed by
to see
Taylor
how
Clan.
this midfield's going to stack up, though, because I know Brown's got a couple of penalties. Not sure how many JD has. JD might jump him here. And he does.
JD
Jumps him
jumps
and
to
Skeppy,
fourth.
P4.
What will
Boss
Cookie
Cookie
do?
collected a lot of penalties. I don't see him moving up. Ritzy.
He also collects the wall as he crosses the line. And collects a lot of damage on that front right. And in fact, Ritzy is going to jump him as well for P7. So it's going to be a 1-2-3 for BRL. And a 5-6-7 as well for them, with JDM haters splitting them in half, getting a P4.
JD the standout there,
Cookie.
running the cleaner race, able to get a few positions.
Yeah, he kept it clean and got some decent points there, picking up 12 points to 4th place. Boss Cookie will get P8 with Rawlins 9th, Zampa 10th, Murphy 11th, and Stenner will eventually cross the line.
After the rough day by
P12.
Stenner, he's really pushing the car. He's got something to prove, I think, to himself. We're seeing him actually throw it down pretty hard here.
Be interesting
think
to
he
see if
just
he can
wants-
get a fastest lap.
One last go here. This is just about getting it done for himself. He brings the car across.
I don't think he did
That's
it.
going to be it, folks. Tough break today for SSR. Saw some bad luck there. Turn 1, Rawlings got turned around. Couple of spins there by our guys.
Thanks for the follow,
Uh,
Fisher87. And I mean, you don't need to tell us that BRL really showing off their pace today. They've thrown down the
and
gauntlet.
strategy as well.
Yeah, great strategy. They've thrown down the gauntlet after round 1, and well, SSR now with it all to do in the remaining 2 events. Hopefully we can pull some points back. We'll get some wins elsewhere, but not the ideal start, it's fair to say.
Oh yeah,
82
definitely. Big
points.
shout out. Big shout out to BRL for joining us here for this event. We appreciate y'all coming in and doing it. Great show today. SSR. Today wasn't the day, guys. It's all right. We've got a few more chances. Even the match on the next go. GB's got totals of scores for both teams.
Yes, 82 points it will be in total for BRL, and with JD managing to pick up that 4th place, our points total is still pretty upsetting, but it isn't quite as bad as it was. We pick up what will be, well, a guaranteed 19 points, and if C. Murphy is allowed to keep that fastest lap point, it will be 20 for us today. So 82 points to BRL and either 19 or 20 for SSR. So pretty dominant performance by BRL today, but at least we got fastest lap from it. We have the bragging rights of the overall pace, perhaps, or overall 1
Cheers.
lap pace. We're definitely clutching at straws with that one though. But yeah,
I
huge
want to send a big shout
for
out
BRL,
to
though.
yeah, huge shout out for them and SSR. Great show today by both teams. Big shout out to all the viewers that tuned in today. Stay tuned. We are going to do another event in the near future. Was the track choice by SSR, and unfortunately just wasn't their day today. BRL gets the next pick. It will be another 50% race, so stay tuned for that. And then there will be a dated 3rd appearance, so don't miss out on that. Stay tuned. Big shout out O Fisher 87, thank you for the follow there, sir. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't miss us Wednesday, Thursday, twice on Saturday, once on Sunday. It's going to be fun. We got some big changes
this week with the
Yeah,
normal
this
field 1,
weekend.
2, and 3.
This weekend we are taking a mid-season break. We will return the following weekend for Austria, and that's going to be a big one. Everyone loves that track. Lots of high speed, lots of mixing it up, so don't miss that. GB, I want to send a big thanks to you guys at SSR and yourself for letting me sit in on the booth today.
Yeah, it's a massive shout
rumor
out
on the block
to
is some.
the prodigal son returns.
Yeah, there's some big changes in the works, so guys, stick around. We're gonna make some big changes. So, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Massive shout out to AJ, of course, for coming into the commentary booth tonight with us for this race. It's been great. As Stenner says, shout out to AJ for being amazing.
Cheers, Stenner.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have him. Maybe we'll see him more in the future. Who knows? Stick around to find out.
Have your people talk to my people.
And on that bombshell.
All right, fellas. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back.